Hello. In this video, we're going to go over how to do autonomous missions and manual flight modes on the DJI Agris T10. So first off, we'll start on the home page on the transmitter. Make sure that your transmitter and the T10 are talking to each other and they're bound. So you need to first upload the mission from the cloud, the DJI Smart Farm cloud, onto the actual transmitter. So you start off by going in that note tab in the top left, and then it'll go to all the, these are all the fields that you already have downloaded on the device of the transmitter. How you download is there's a little download button. There's a download and an upload button. Let me explain what those both do real quick. The download takes it from the cloud, upload takes it from the device onto the cloud. So when you're done for the day, your DJI Smart Farm app won't show your records that you just flew until you upload it back into the cloud. So right now we want to download, and it'll bring up the different ones that you can download. I've already downloaded the one that I want to, so I'm going to cancel, and then we'll get out back into the home page. Up next is to execute the task. So we're going to go into execute tasks in the bottom right.
Fasten all arm locks securely to prevent potential safety risks.
So it'll give you all those warnings, and if there's any obstacles around the drone or your arms aren't, it'll tell you all the warnings that you need to be aware of. And then on the left side there's a little note. Go ahead and select that. And how they are organized is it organizes the closest field to you down to the furthest away. So right now I want to do the test number 2, and that selects the field. And yes, that's the correct one, so we're going to use on the bottom right. This part is where you select the product that you're going to use. So we're going to use the Vecto Max because that's what I have in the tank right now. And it should already come up with pounds per acre, and your flight speed you want to be maxed. And then the spinner disc speed should be 550, and the height above crop, I usually do minimum 25, somewhere between 25 and 30. So we'll do right there, and then select yes. Okay, and then now it's all uploaded into the T10, and you can go ahead and press start, and it'll upload the flight path from the device into the T10, and all you need to do is just slide that, and it'll take off and go, which I'm not going to do right now. But while it's flying, there's a couple of things that you can do. So you can manually, if you're going to hit an obstacle or something, you can use your right stick that controls the left, right, forward, back movement, and it'll stop. If you need to go a little bit higher to go over, like say a tree, or go underneath a telephone pole or whatever it may be, you can, and it won't stop the auto mission if you use the left stick, just the up and down movement. And so that's kind of useful. Like I use it to go over a tree. It will stop if it's going to run into an obstacle, but always be aware of where you're going. And then, so that's how to do a manual mission. How you do an autonomous mission. How you do a manual mission is, instead of selecting a, so we'll get out back into the home page. We'll execute task. Instead of selecting a little note in an actual field, we'll go ahead and there's a little, what do you call that? Like a filter tab, so that you can select the hopper percentage. Pay attention to each product at your max speed, what the hopper open percentage is, and then you can determine that. After a flight, it'll give you a flight detail of how much product you went out, how much product you set out in that acre, how many pounds per acre, and it gives you all the stats that you need. And then spinner disc is always 550, like I said before. So right now we'll have it at 15.3%, 550 RPM, or spinner disc speed. And we'll select OK. And then to take off and do a manual mission, you hold both of these sticks down and away from the center. So it'll be, I'll do it really quick, like that, and then it will take off. I don't want to take off, so I'm just going to press down. Right now the propellers are spinning, and now it's done. But as you're taking off and flying around, you can use, press the camera to have it as your main page, and it gives you a good reference, or you can go back to the map view. And as you're going, if you want to start the spreader to go and start it and stop it, you just press the record button right here, and that is attached to the product dispenser. One more thing I forgot to mention is how to edit the flight routes. So we'll go ahead and select the flight route that I was going to go, and instead of pressing use, I can press edit down the bottom right, and it'll take me to another tab. This is the actual flight path. The green dot is the starting point, and the yellow is the ending point. If you stop midway through, say it's a big massive field that you need to spray and you stop halfway through, it'll just continue from the last spot that you stop spreading. And this is a nifty trick for when you want to only do, you want to customize the flight path. So let's say I want it to go this way instead of the way it is right now. You can go to the line, zoom in, and then double tap on the line you want it to be parallel to. So now it's going the opposite direction. I don't actually want to do that, so I'm just going to double click this side that I want it to be parallel to, which is this one. And now it's going to go this way. So that's how you can do it. You can also, typically the route spacing, I try and max that out as much as it can. This place that I'm going to spread is actually thinner, so it won't go max. And then the margin is how far from the boundary to the spray zone. Typically you can put that right to the edge. You'll figure it out as you go. But we'll go ahead and save that, and then overwrite original file. Yes, I want to overwrite it. So now every time I select that field, it'll do that path. I don't need to do that every time I edit a file. Okay, one more thing that you can do before you press start is I have the field selected, and it gives me the path to the starting point. Really, it'll drain a lot of battery if you have it autonomously fly to the starting and from the ending point to the takeoff spot. What I usually do is take control and do manual takeoffs to the starting point, and then you can press start. You can press start, and then it'll do that sliding bar. When you're done, and you, like I said before, you can use the directional stick to stop the mission wherever it's at, and it'll automatically cut the spreader off, and you can fly back, land. It'll save a lot more battery and time if you do manual flying to the start and from the endpoints. One last thing I forgot to mention is there is a battery safety feature. Once it gets to 20%, 15% battery left, it'll give you a warning, and you can change the setting in the settings, but once it gets below that threshold, it will automatically land or start to descend and land. No matter if you're above water or you're going to hit a tree, it's just going to slowly descend into something and possibly could crash. So be very conscientious of how much battery you have left, and make sure to land well before that happens, or else that situation will happen, and that's no good. So with that said, that's how you do auto missions and manual flight modes on the DJI Agras T10.